Welcome to Live from M5. I'm here with
Aniruddh Mukkamala.
Elias Wylie.
Emily Passanisi.
And here we are anxious with anime. Okay, so first off, I didn't point this out when we were filming our first podcast, but there will be guests who will change. So for anyone watching this and wondering why we have a new guest, that's just going to be part of the podcast.
Hi.
And this is Emily Passanisi, and she's one of us who's going to be in this podcast. Okay, so anyways, today we're going to be talking about anime from before the 2000s and why we like them. But we're also have a special little twist where we each brought a drink that we're all going to try.
Right.
So yeah, and let's get this started. Okay, so I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna pour you each a little bit of my special home brew. It's a coffee. It's an espresso mix with brown sugar, half and half, and some Torani caramel sauce.
Should we tell them about the whole debate we had after the first podcast?
Okay, so those who haven't seen the first podcast, me and him got into like a mini argument about why coffee is good or not, and so I made it a thing. So now we're all gonna try each other's drinks. Okay, everyone pour this into the green cup, and by all sakes, do not spill anything.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and while this is happening, my anime I'm going to choose is Evangelion. Have any of you heard of that?
Yeah, it's a classic.
Save some for some other people, dude.
I wouldn't pour so much, dude.
Bro.
I thought you poured a lot. I don't know.
No,
It could have been like an ice or something.
Oh yeah, there's ice in this. So I made sure it's cold because I get why some people don't like hot coffee. Anyways.
Yeah,
I'm
I have
choosing
ice in mine as well.
Everyone who knows Evangelion, does anyone know what that is?
Yeah.
It's pretty much a classic.
It's an anime from 1995. It's about mechs and like fighting and angst and all that. But anyways, okay, we're gonna slam this back. We're gonna slam this back on 3. Okay, everyone ready?
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
3,
Cheers.
2, 1, go.
Interesting taste.
My God, I actually love that.
Oh my God. What the heck? What the heck is that, dude? I'm sorry. What the heck is that? Oh God. Oh God.
You don't have to make so much of a scene.
Yeah.
But it's so bad in my mouth, dude. I'm so sorry.
That's your fault.
You can just use the gum
And
later.
you were trying to convince me that coffee was good. And
Dude,
this
I think
ain't
that coffee
convincing.
was good.
It is
I think
actually
I'm
good.
I'm
Yeah.
a bit biased because I love coffee, but
It is good. It's just that you don't have regular taste buds.
My taste buds
yeah.
are better towards hot chocolate and tea, so deal with it.
Skill issue.
Skill issue, that is
yeah,
what it is.
that's
Okay.
the biggest skill issue I've
Anyways,
ever seen.
I like Evangelion because it's strangely relatable because I see part of myself. I see not just like not in the mech fighting stuff. I can't relate to that part, but as anyone who's watched it, you can kind of see the struggles that the characters are going through, like Shinji go through with like anxiety and isolation. And although I haven't had a hard laugh myself, I do kind of see parts of myself in like Shinji and like all these characters of like having to move forward and work on yourself and improve and what you're struggling with.
Mhm.
Do you guys like have those who have seen it? Do you kind of relate to that at all, or do you know like what I'm talking about, or like?
I know the anime, but I should like watch it someday, which sucks.
Yeah, I had to binge watch this show because my friend Will, I think you guys know him.
Yeah.
He told me that End of Evangelion is going to be playing in theaters in North America for the first time, so I really just had to binge watch it like before it started, and I actually really liked it because it's a dude. If you're don't make a scene.
Bro, I'm sorry. This coffee is really giving me a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, he's gonna go next, so it'll
Okay.
get on.
So I'll just go with the.
Well, still, I like Evangelion because it's a very hard. It makes you kind of examine who you are, and as the guy who created I forgot his name, but he wrote it like kind of about himself, and all the films still are kind of about his experience with like depression and stuff. But I still I can see why it is the way he is, and I really enjoy it. Okay, anyone's
so
going
this
there.
is I pretty much did this last night. So this is Kashmiri pink tea. In my house, there's like it's loose leaf tea. Basically, like you take a pile of it on your hand and then put it in some water and then let it cook. And that's kind of what I did in the morning.
Let them cook. Let them cook.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, what is your anime you're choosing?
It's gonna be basic as hell, but I'm gonna say Pokemon. I can't really think of anything else. So
Dude, that's valid. That's valid.
Gotta catch 'em
all,
all,
Pokemon.
I mean, it was my first.
I grew up with Pokemon. I used to play like the card game all the time.
Also, it's a bit hot. It's kind of hot, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Also,
I
just added in with a bit of sugar just to make it sweet.
I don't drink my tea with sugar. I don't do
What?
that.
Who the heck doesn't drink tea with sugar?
It's good. I drink
That's
ginger
the
and
part of it.
Yeah.
I drink ginger
Sort of.
and turmeric, so it's
Like I don't.
I
know.
used to drink a lot of tea, but I switched over to coffee since. But
tea and coffee are both good in their own right. It's although it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges, so you can't really compare them.
I
Also,
think-
quick thing, random off topic. Did you put dark chocolate in this thing?
No,
I'm getting dark chocolate from this drink.
it's
told you
probably
what
the espresso.
I told you what I put in there:
Well, but you
brown sugar, half and half, and Torani caramel sauce.
Okay, let's
Syrup.
Well, I think you probably
Bro,
forgot
bro,
the
bro.
dark chocolate because that's what I'm getting in my tongue.
That's it. I told you your taste buds were off.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just make
Yeah,
sure.
I'm thinking it's the
This
espresso.
is like I don't.
Three. Okay.
Three. Cheers.
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 And the
Cheers.
count of 3, 2, 1.
That's pretty good.
What the heck is that?
What?
It's not bad. It's not
It
bad.
tastes like water.
That's what
That's
tea
tea.
is.
That's tea.
Tea is hot leaf
But-
juice.
Yeah, I know you said you added sugar to this, but there's no sweetness that I'm getting from
Because
that.
I
That's
put a
just
very
How
little
much of a
amounts of it.
sweet tooth do you have?
a big one.
No wonder you don't like it. No wonder you won't like my drink. Your taste buds are so like malfunction. Like, did you just like when you were a kid? Did you just grab handfuls of sugar and shove it in your mouth?
No, I just ate
This would
like,
be like.
no. Just when I was a kid, I cocked so many candy on Halloween that I just ate that stuff, or at least a good chunk of it.
I never
before
really-
the night was over.
I never really was a big fan of like candy that wasn't chocolate.
Yeah.
Bro,
I
with the
can
taste
understand.
buds that you have, you're making me think that you ate the wrappers.
I think you're coming from a different planet. If so.
Oh, come, shut up.
Yeah,
Jeez,
no,
dude. Look,
regular. I still prefer like regular sugar over to like that artificial
Yeah,
official
it's-
nonsense.
that is-
Coke
It is
Zero
brown
is
sugar.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's awful. Anyways, you
wait,
guys.
wait. Adding on to what you said, did you guys see that they made like an Oreo Coca-Cola?
That sounds
Yeah,
awful.
I did.
Ew.
That-
that's what
I'm
I'm
only
saying.
trying it if it's in like the regular Coca-Cola because that artificial sugar that's in Zero is the most garbage thing I've ever
Is-
tasted.
There are some
Emily, do
things
you
that
mean
should not be
aspartame?
mixed. It's like mixing chips with cereal. That's not how things.
Are you
You
talking
sure
about
about that? How
aspartame?
about you ask those companies who made
I don't
Coca-Cola?
even know what
and
anyone
they're
is
Trying
saying
to
here
get
anymore.
squeeze as much money out of consumers as
Okay.
possible.
Shall
Anyways, yeah,
let's
we
get
gotta
back.
we gotta get this rolling. So
Anyway,
sorry.
yeah, let's get going.
So I kind of had like no really other option. Pokemon, okay. I grew up watching Pokemon as like from the previous episode. I kind of gave a bit of like some of my own thoughts on why I liked Pokemon. And I think it really shows like the development of the main character Ash. Like pretty much everybody and their mother knows who Ash is. Like you
Yeah.
can't if you don't know if you don't even know Pokemon, you should at least know Ash.
I don't know why though. He's still like 10, even though technically he should be like 36 at the time because he's
like, how old is Pokemon and like the show?
Actually,
wise?
no, wait a minute. I think-
Pokemon came out in 97.
Yeah, and we're in 2024, so
Oh, do the math.
27.
That's 27 years.
That is
dude
37.
should be 27 at this time.
No, he's 10 in the show. He should be 37.
37.
Well, actually, that is true. With the amount of movies and shows on that topic as well, that's
I always forget which shows can be canon because it's kind of like a mishmash. You just kind of got it like.
Actually, no, he should be 43, actually. Because if you consider 2024, he should be 43 by
Yeah.
then. Actually, no. I remember there was like some theory like going like, if you know in the first episode of
I've heard this.
Pokemon, like the Ho-Oh basically grants eternal happiness, and I guess his eternal happiness was actually wanting to be,
Like 10 years old.
I
Yeah,
thought,
right.
the,
years
I,
old.
I thought the theory was that he went into a coma. In
Yeah,
the
that
first.
You
was-
see,
there are
I
two-
heard
there
about
are two
that. I heard
theories.
about
That's
that.
so weird.
that is two theories. There are two theories. I prefer the Ho-Oh one because I do not even fathom on
I think
a
the
coma
Ho-Oh
happening.
one makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the common one would be the coma one where he got shocked by Pikachu for the first time. That kind of be a bit dark.
That's
Yeah.
you don't need that in a kids show.
Yeah,
exactly.
Even Avatar, which is a pretty good show, I mean, really good, is with even more adult themes. Doesn't go that dark.
Yeah.
that's just sad. Anyways,
Yeah,
why-
okay.
Explain why you like Pokemon.
Pokemon, I've grew up from like since when I've been like since 8 or 9. So I loved Pokemon for like the longest time. I cannot grasp off of that single silly little show. Also, I just think the character development for Ash is kind of like I have seen like a lot of character development for like each of the characters and made me feel like I like these characters very, very much. should I just come off topic? Do you know Pokemon shippings?
We're not getting into that.
Okay,
No.
fine.
No.
This is not the time we're getting into that.
Okay, fine. I'll talk about it some other day. Okay.
This is not My Hero where everyone's
We're-
just shipped with everyone.
Do not say that. Do not.
Do
mention-
not even say that.
That is like
It's
that is
true.
that
It's
is heresy itself.
Let's
That's-
not.
that's true.
Let's not go over what I've done.
Yeah, no. Anyways.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
We're
No,
gonna
I don't want
pretend
to
it
know.
never
Also,
happened.
ironic that you said that anyone who doesn't know who Ash is, but Emily literally has a Pokemon shirt, so you should know that she.
Everyone
knows
knows who. Everyone knows. I think you said that everyone knows who Ash is.
I
Okay.
Let's just
and-
move on.
and let's move on. Okay, it's Elias' turn. Now, what do you have?
I like Aniruddh. I did make this last night, but I took some time into it. This is a hot chocolate with caramel in it because it was just a regular hot chocolate mix that I got from Dollar Tree. And yes, I got it from Dollar Tree. You can shame me.
Hey, if it's good, it doesn't matter the price.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna pour some in here.
So you and me can at least agree that we like caramel in our flavoring.
Yeah,
that
I
is
love
true.
caramel.
That is
Caramel
true.
is
I will,
pretty good.
I will give you that.
Is it caramel or caramel? I prefer caramel.
It's
I say caramel.
I think I switch mine up. I say caramel or caramel. Either
I
one.
say caramel. It's pretty much.
I feel
I guess it's a thing that you either like or just like
Okay,
grow up
Jason
with,
G's.
or-
Say
you're the
something.
one who did this first. So
No, I did. That was
Yeah,
I saw
okay.
you.
Like I said, it was
Enough.
the ice, so it left out a big chunk of the.
I feel like when you say caramel, at times it can sound a bit snobby. At times, I don't know for sure, but sometimes I hear I get used to getting arguments with my brother. Cheers, friends.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay,
Cheers.
1, 2, 3.
I actually think that's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
good. I feel like it was a tiny bit. Did you use water instead of milk or no?
Yes.
Okay, then that
See,
makes sense.
that was my problem. I was actually gonna get milk, but we were very short on milk, and I didn't want to buy any, so I decided to just use water and get it over with. And it did taste fine, but I have a strange feeling you guys' taste buds would have been a bit disappointed about the fact that it wasn't milk.
You know, I do a thing I will admit with my coffee is that I had to put a bunch of ice in it, so you might have gone some of the water from the ice in there, but still, it's like you still have you do have at least somewhat regular taste buds.
Yeah, at least I'll just be honest. That is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
I loved it.
Now your turn. What anime do you like that's from before the 2000s?
Okay, my favorite anime from before the 2000s, this is when I was a kid, was Beyblade, except it was in 1999. This was like the Plastic Gen series, and it was like so nostalgic for me because I watched it from beginning all the way to where like the show had then ended. And then it was like so much awesomeness and so much characters and so much funniness that you just couldn't help but love it. Actually, I literally grabbed a bunch of Legos from my house and made Beyblades as I was watching the show.
That's impressive.
Yo, that's
Yeah.
actually impressive.
Did they work?
Yeah, I mean, if you spin them with your hands, yes.
Well, I know you can't get like the rip cord through them because that's not possible. But
Exactly.
Yeah, that's impossible. It's
Well,
sad.
technically, you can make a Lego like Beyblade launcher if you look on the internet.
are you really gonna do that?
Probably.
Okay.
I just need more Legos for that.
Hey, we all have stuff that we do that is somewhat pointless, but we still do it
Okay,
anyway.
I'll be
But-
a bit off topic, but I'll be honest. I've had a huge Lego obsession back when I was like much younger.
Dude, I grew up with Legos. I have Legos in my room.
Okay, specifically Lego architecture. When I saw Lego architecture, like there are like multiple city showcases, like London,
Oh, that- those are-
Paris, Dubai,
I have
San Francisco.
I have a Lego architecture of the Pyramid of Gaza.
My brother has a Lego
Gaza?
Not Gaza. Giza. The Giza pyramid. I said that wrong.
No, that's not good, man.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be making fun of you for that for like the rest of the time before I graduate.
Anyway, my brother had this Lego.
I did not mean that. I said that wrong. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
okay, for real this time. My brother has this tower like some tower that I think it was like a tower where you weren't supposed to like drop things off of or else it would hit somebody. I had a Lego architecture of the ship from the Lego 2 movie, along with a Black Panther type of ship, but I took those down literally immediately.
I'm just a big fan of Star Wars Legos. I always grew up with that. Like my first set were from the Clone Wars. I grew up with like both like the I had that like I remember my first like Lego set I ever remember building was Clone Trooper pack and like Mandalorian pack.
We do anything but talk about anime on this podcast.
Yeah, we should get back to the topic.
Is it now Emily's turn?
I gave you all I need to give about my early 2000s animes.
Well, what do you like the most about it again?
Well, like I said, it was the funniness, the action.
Funniest isn't a word.
We'll pretend that it is.
Funniest. I'm saying it. Deal with it.
Okay.
That's
anyways.
like saying, hey, that's a group of meese. That's like saying moose is meese. Look at that herd of meese.
Okay, will you stop with these whole Fred the movie
Look at
references?
this.
I already know what you're trying to do.
Let's no. I have another. Let's look at this group of what is it? Group of mice or group of what is
Mass?
it? Mice. Mass.
Mass mice. What are you trying to say?
Okay, I think
You
we're
know,
getting a
I'm
little too
actually-
off.
We're
Too
getting-
off topic.
we're
We should
Too
get-
off topic.
okay,
Let's move on
let's
to
go.
Emily.
Okay.
and her
Okay, Emily's
drink.
gonna pour her thing.
All right, purple cup. This is a concoction of coffee that I made this morning. The cold foam melted, so there might be a little extra chocolate flavor. But I used Nescafe coffee with Hershey's chocolate syrup, and then I added milk and half. And I hope the ice didn't melt like too much.
Next podcast, we should definitely talk more about anime instead of just whatever. But
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care.
Anyway.
I'm a huge
I'm just talking about this for like the viewer base.
You brought it up when I just said funniest and just said, oh, that's not a word. You like, oh, well, actually, that's not a word. Bro, I had to give
Dude,
you
we had this argument before. We had another argument last time with the whole coffee thing in general. That's why
but we squashed that literally 2 seconds ago.
it's still funny. It's just not a word. I don't care if you say it, but just admit it's not a word.
I never said it was a word. I just said funniest, just as to describe it.
Let's not continue arguing. Let's just get this over.
Yeah,
with.
we're gonna be here all day. if we
Because
can.
we do anything but talk
Okay,
about
so
anime on
let's
this
talk
podcast.
about Emily. Let's talk about what Emily has.
Yeah, I think we got it.
What is yours again?
Cheers.
I'm doing Rose of Versailles, yes. And
Wait,
Bottoms up.
cheers.
to the
Cheers.
revolution. Cheers.
Vive la révolution. I can't do French, I'm sorry.
That's like okay.
It's okay.
It's
You know, I like this stuff, but I think maybe...
it's a bit watery.
Yeah,
that's what I
you
was
poured
gonna-
it from the top where the ice was. I think maybe using ice was not a good idea, but at least it's cold.
You see, that's what I was gonna add. I wasn't gonna add the fact that it was kind of like Jason's, where I basically just tasted bitterness.
Oh, that might have been your problem. You tasted the water.
Yep, it was mainly the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't the coffee swell, it's just the water because I had to dump like 10 ice cubes in there to make it cold.
See,
Yeah.
mostly if you put water into the coffee or make it watery, it's gonna not.
Yeah.
it's gonna
But
be a
anyways,
bit-
I think I will go ahead and talk. So, and I'm actually a big history nerd, okay? But the thing is, I am very biased about what
I'm
I
not
like
like
to
other
learn about.
girls.
Oh, shut up.
Vague.
But dude, like I love European history. Like European history is my life. But then I'm like, what happened in American history? Like I'm literally American. I don't understand. But anyways, but Rose of Versailles is about the French Revolution. It's mostly like about the years leading up to the revolution because like the revolution only takes place for like the last like 5-ish episodes of the show. But I think it focuses a lot about your identity and like who you think you're supposed to be and who like you're kind of just told to be, because it's told through the fictional perspective of Oscar, who she serves on the royal guard, and then of course her father wanted a son, but she was like her 5th or 6th daughter. Like literally some of the sources say like she's the 5th daughter or she's the 6th daughter, but yeah.
So like King Henry VIII or something? What?
I guess kind of, but didn't King Henry VIII only have like 3 kids? Yeah, he did.
What?
Yeah.
I thought he had 5.
He had like I think he had like
Seen someone
I think
was-
he had like 3 kids, but he's just famous for like his like 6 wives. I think some are theorizing.
we
that he
don't
has
need to
7.
get we don't need to
Also,
get
he's
into
the-
that. It's
Yeah.
just-
isn't he the father
Anyway.
of Bloody Mary as well?
yeah, and Queen Elizabeth. So he's
And
Rest
that
in
one
peace,
Edward
sir.
the Sixth.
Yeah, and Edward.
yeah. Anyways, like
Anyways,
I admit I like history too, so that sounds interesting. And like does the anime like fully adapt the manga, or did it finish before the manga finished?
It was after the manga came out. The manga was published in 1972, and then the TV show version came out in 1979. They also came out with a movie version that year. It was a live action movie, but it's garbage. It's like, yeah. The live action version like changed the story way too much. And I feel like there was so much in the story for them to compress it into a 2-hour movie. And then they are remaking it into a movie next year, which I'm hoping is going to be better. And they're going to like stay like, they're going to keep like the whole story and everything. But, I'm honestly kind of scared how it turns out. But,
about live action. About live action movies. Was it as bad as like the last Airbender movie, that one from M. Night Shyamalan?
Do not mention that.
Oh God,
Well,
dude.
That is horrible.
I feel like it's that kind of movie where, like someone who has like no prior experience would probably find it like mid or just
So like the
decent.
Halo show or something like
I
that?
guess like if you have like no idea what the Rose of Versailles is, or like you've never like read the original story, then like somebody would probably find it like really decent. Like I have an example on this. Like my grandpa didn't watch The Lion King until the remake came out in like 2019 or something.
No.
Who does that? Who
Don't
does
mention that.
He watched the
film.
remake first, and then I guess I kind of forced him to watch the original version, and I asked him like, which do you think is better? And he said, oh, I think the remake is better. And I'm like, well, it's probably just because he watched the remake first, and I guess it's a little bit of a bias thing. But
We should definitely like finish this up because we don't.
Before I just want to add one more thing. Ironic how a live action movie flopped of an anime. I mean, look at Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, that's even worse.
But I do want to get into.
Did you know the guy when
do wanna
Akira
get-
Toriyama passed, the guy who played Goku in that movie said an apology for how bad the movie was?
Yes.
He's like, I'm sorry, I ruined this for you. I am so sorry.
Oh
Bro
yeah,
really
Should I also
did
give
wanna
it some
ruin
other
that
bad ones?
Dragon Ball for
Cowboy
everybody.
Bebop and Attack on Titan.
Don't bring those up.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
no.
say that again.
Cowboy Bebop and Attack on Titan both had 2 live action movies.
I thought
But I
Cowboy
did-
Bebop was a show.
I think there was another
the
question I
live-action show.
should answer where
I
it was
hope no one finds
like
them.
why I like it. Was there like a question you wanted me to answer,
Yeah,
like why I liked
just
it?
quickly say why you like it.
I think it brings up a lot of like interesting points in history, because it also brings up just like historical questions, and it was really a deeper dive into French history for me that my history classes did not cover. Like, they actually introduced the idea that Robespierre was a terrorist, and I'm just like, whoa. It wasn't something I heard before, but it was a really interesting point to bring up, because they stated like Robespierre was like doing this just to gain power, and that is kind of what happened after the revolution.
Yeah, with like the Reign of Terror.
Yeah.
When he just like was complete control over the parliament.
Yeah, and then of course everyone was biased because they didn't like Marie Antoinette. Also, fun fact, Marie Antoinette was Austrian. Her name was Maria Antonia, but Marie Antoinette is just the French version of the name.
The more you know.
Yep, the more you know.
Okay,
The
well,
less I'm gonna
that's all
know.
the time we have. Thank you guys for coming on. This is Jason Cardanini.
Aniruddh Mukkamala.
Elias Wylie.
Emily Passanisi.
We are Anxious for Anime, signing off.
Thank you for listening to the podcast live from M5. If you'd like for more content like this, please visit rocklandmedia.org. Thank you.